All right, so for our next move, we are doing our head and arm triangle from guard. Now, this move is usually used if someone doesn't necessarily know what they're doing or they're just trying to create space. So usually someone will put their arm across our throat, they'll bar across us, and we're going to use this to our advantage here. So it looks a little like this. So from the guard position, my partner starts to posture up. He thinks he's about to get out, or he thinks he's smart and he wants to create pressure, so I'm not thinking of how to escape. I'm just thinking of my throat here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push this hand that is across my throat in the direction of his hand. I do this at the same time as I raise my hand, so it looks like this. Bloop. Now I wrap my arms behind him like a rear naked choke and I squeeze. I'm going to show you two different variations of it that are pretty much the same thing, okay? But my partner puts his arm across my throat. I raise the same side hand that he's pointing at, so I have it across his neck here as I push his elbow or his tricep across his throat. Now I'm going to sink him back in. I'm going to pull him in like a rear naked choke. I'm going to grab my bicep. I'm going to grab the top of his head, and I'm just going to squeeze with my ear to his tricep. Now a slight difference that I like to add in at times, depending on what my goal is. If I just want to squeeze him and choke him, I can do that from the front. And it kind of hurts the spine or the neck. So I typically don't like to do this just straight onto him. So what I do is when I push him across and I lock up, I usually scoot out to the side. So now I have his arm pushing up against this side of his carotid and my whole forearm chopping at his carotid on the other side. It doesn't hurt his neck as much, and it is more of a blood choke from here. And I have the option to just take his back if I need to. I can scoot out the back. But same rules apply. I squeeze, and if I need to, I can take the back from here. Okay. So one last time here. When my partner brings his arm across, I shoot my arm up, I push it across, and I do a rear naked choke. Grab my bicep, bring my hand in front, and squeeze. Typically, I like to arc out to the side, so I have a complete blade across his carotid, and squeeze. That is our head and arm triangle. Typically, I go for the defenses as well. When someone does this to me, I make a fist with my hand and I push it into their head so they can't complete the choke around my neck. I grab my hand and I push back at the top of their head and get it across, so now we're just back in guard. That is an option for you to teach, not necessary entirely, but as a coach you should be learning these things and making sure you are well versed in this area. But to get you through, that is our head and arm triangle.